For the past few days I've been trying to determine if what I'm seeing is correct, and now I'm fairly certain now that we're getting tall. The burpee bib has definitely bolted, so I'm going to be cutting them out, removing them from the hydroponic system because they're pretty much done. They're ready to go to seed. Didn't get to harvest any. That's alright though. It's a learning experience. I know I had a couple days where it did reach a little over 80 up here. Actually, 1 or 2 days where it actually got to 85. And that was, I think, what did it with these. Everything else is looking fine though. So the next video you see, the burpee bib will have been removed because I don't need more seed, and I don't want to grow this to term where it's going to give me seeds. Flowers and seeds. The little Caesar, still going strong. I mean, looking really good. Not much I could say about that. The Nevada lettuce has really got its second wind now. In fact, I'm going to have to cut back this puppy, this big one, because it is now taking over. Huge leaves. I don't know if you could tell, this leaf here is about as big as my hand. I've cut back the green salad bowl, and it is coming back with a vengeance, which is good, because that's what lettuce is supposed to do. If you cut and come again, it's supposed to just grow itself right back. I also have the black-seeded Simpson behind it. It's looking pretty good. Leaves are looking nice. And I'm going to try to get you as good of a view as I can. This is the second round of Little Caesar I grew, and it's coming along very quickly. It's really moving. I would say I'm probably only a couple days before I'll begin harvesting that. So it's definitely coming along. The Grand Rapids behind, it seems like it's just stuck. I don't know if the roots have not quite gotten into the nutrients yet. Well, if you see the first cup, the first one did not germinate. I figured just let it go, especially when I started to get these warmer temperatures. So I'm going to just let that pretty much go. Just by how warm it's supposed to get next week, I'm thinking that I'm probably not going to get any hydroponics started in March. This is going to be it. And I think things are going to move very quickly to outside growing. Next week they're expecting us to get into the 70s a couple days, which means I'll be needing to run the air conditioner in here for this lettuce to keep it from bolting. If it's 75 outside, the temperature is usually about 20 degrees warmer in here. And 95-degree heat will probably put all of this into bolting. This is the Nevada lettuce I've just cut back. I have just a tiny hair under an ounce. I'd round that up just because of how many mistakes you can make with these scales, weighing such a small item. So I'll say pretty much an ounce. This is my first cutting of the black-seeded Simpson lettuce. Looks pretty healthy. And I have about an ounce, a hair off of an ounce. Just like with the Nevada lettuce, I'd probably round that up to an ounce just because at these small weights, it's, as you could see, sensitivity 0.25 ounces. So I mean, it's possible it's more, or it's also possible it's less. This is the second cutting I took of the Little Caesar lettuce, and also about an ounce. This is the dwarf blue Vates kale I started on March 3rd, and it's was not emerged yesterday, and it's definitely coming on pretty strong. I've got 11 of the 12 cells. I'm sure this thing's getting ready to come out because I do see a bulge in the dirt. So that would be all 12 of them. So the kale is coming on pretty good. Now I'm going to go over to the broccoli and cauliflower. The calabrese broccoli is over here. I have emergence in all 12 of the cells. The Romanesco broccoli is over here. I planted 2 seeds in each one. I have 2 emerging in every single one of the cells. I have a little tiny one, I think, starting there. So I've got perfect germination with those seeds. And over here I have my Snowball X cauliflower. I see a little stem starting to poke out here. So I've got great emergence as well in that seed starter. And last one I have here is my Shanghai Pak Choi. And I'm starting to see emergence everywhere pretty much. I see a little bit of a bulge here, a little bulge here. I'm starting to see a seedling just pop out there and there. It's doing well also. My eggplants usually take a while. I'm not really surprised they haven't come out yet. They were also started on March 1st. And might as well show you the rest of what we got. In the back here, it's getting kind of hard to keep things in order, is my Mary Washington asparagus. It's pretty much getting up to the lights. I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. I'm probably gonna be having to start my 3rd shelf with the extra lights, except that puts out a lot more heat. Or maybe I'll move everything up to the 3rd shelf and cut the power to this second tier. Let me also go down the line. Next you will see my sweet Spanish and my Walla Walla onions. And they're both looking very good. I'm going to see a little bit of like die-offs in a couple of these, but there's also second shoots coming up out of those plants, so I think they're doing good. And I'll finish off with my sage. I also have thyme, parsley, and spearmint in here. None of them have come up except for the sage. I don't know how well you could see the seedling at this angle. It's looking pretty good. And I have still got nothing on my garlic or my onion chives. I think I'm just going to toss them because I don't think they're going to do anything. The seed was just too old. Some seeds you can save a few years, some seeds you can't. These seeds were from 2013, so they would be on about 3 years old. Usually when they're packed, they were packed early in the year or the year before. So they're either 3 or 4 years old. Not really surprised. Onion seed doesn't seem to